And then, of course, let's not forget. Oh, Nick is here.
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Hey, Nick.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Fine. Yeah, feel free to come into the Smash Room whenever you want here.
Alright, that sounds good. Just getting my Switch ready to go here, and then I'll be right there in a couple minutes.
Nice. Alright, so...
It's very good as well, by the way, man.
Alright, so now the next announcement that I was about to start talking about was for the 2D Zelda that was announced, Echoes of Wisdom. Now I'm not the biggest Zelda fan in the world, and you guys know that. However, I do think it's pretty cool that after all these years, they're finally making Zelda the hero in her own series.
Well, unless you want that shitty Zelda CDI game where you're playing as Zelda, but with that aside,
Yeah, we don't talk.
It is still amazing that we are actually getting an actual Nintendo Zelda game, in which case where Zelda is actually playable in that and all that.
Yeah.
It is quite cool. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna get it anytime soon. It's partly because of the art style. Especially why I didn't get the Link's Awakening remake yet, but it is still quite amazing. And I do consider myself a pretty big Zelda fan, but despite that, I don't plan on getting it anytime soon. But it is quite cool to say the least.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm excited about the game myself.
Yeah. Now, considering that Peach already had her own game a few months ago in the form of Princess Peach Showtime, which I have Let's Played on my channel already, by the way. I guess it makes sense that they finally gave Zelda her own game. And not only that, there's also a Zelda Feat Switch Lite that's coming out alongside the game.
And while that is cool, I'm not really surprised. It just like the other Nintendo Switch Lite, is going to have the same analog stick drifting issue. Because I know a lot of people that made that complaint back when the Switch Lite was new.
Yeah. And now that Switch Lite variant is cool, but I'm not going to get it, mainly because I have 2 Switch consoles already, and plus I think the next Switch I get, I think I'd rather have that be the successor system whenever that comes out.
Yeah, same here. But
Yeah.
overall, while I don't think I'm gonna get the game, it does look really cool.
Yeah. Now, let's see. Then the next...
Say about the new Zelda game coming out, Echoes of Wisdom. Yeah, it's quite interesting for what they are going for. It's pretty amazing of how Nintendo was able to do this thing where players can now play a Zelda series.
Yeah, which definitely is...
Small Legend of Link, since you're playing a Zelda.
And one thing people seem to have noticed, one thing people seem to notice when doing when they were doing the trailer analysis videos, it's in terms of the map, because people seem to have noticed that the map that they're using in that game looks to be more or less the same map from Link to the Past.
Hey, I'm not complaining, because in terms of 2D Zelda, A Link to the Past is my favorite game in terms of the 2D Zelda stuff. But then again, I haven't even beaten any of the 2D Zeldas myself. But it is still quite interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. And speaking of Link to the Past, that is now available on the Game Boy Advance app in the form of 4 Swords Adventures.
And speaking of which, on launch day, when it came to that, Daniel and I, we were trying the 4 Swords Adventures multiplayer thing, and what Daniel and I played out of it is certainly a fun one, where basically you and the other players are teaming up against each other together to try to conquer the dungeons, and I think it is quite amazing. And Daniel and I, we may or may not, we do want to try to play it more, later on in the future, because it is quite an amazing thing on there.
Exactly.
I may not necessarily be the biggest Zelda fan out there, but from what I've played of Four Swords with Dante, it's actually better than I expected. And it's pretty fun right here to actually do a Zelda game with multiple people now. I wish that Nintendo could make more Zelda games like this in the future.
Yeah, I think.
Not only that, with that kind of game, that's the kind of game I wanted of a Wind Waker HD Deluxe, where basically you are playing the storyline together as well as the dungeons. Although keep in mind, based on what we played of it, it's basically a level by level structure. And basically what I mean by that, it's only the dungeons and only the dungeons. But what I'm trying to say from what Daniel and I played out of it, certainly a fun time. And to those who haven't tried it yet, I would highly recommend it, especially if you have friends and invite them over to play that kind of game, because I think it's quite amazing. I'll say.
Yeah, because I think the only.
With Zelda 4 Swords that recently got added on the Game Boy Advance application for the Switch, they also added Metroid Zero Mission on there as well.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
I did try that out maybe like the first 20 minutes, and I think it's okay. And I think they also announced Perfect Dark and some other game
Turok.
which was on a separate own application, the 18 plus Nintendo 64 application.
It was Turok Dinosaur.
I don't think the other games that they added really interest me all that much, but it is still nice, I guess.
Yeah, so it was Turok Dinosaur Hunter. That was the other one they added to the Mature 17 app, which would have been fine if not for the fact that they already had made that game available to purchase on its own. So, yeah, I don't quite understand that. I mean, if that was already available to purchase on its own, then honestly, I think the better route to go with for that would have been to put Conker's Bad Fur Day on there.
Yeah, I agree, because that game is a very popular Nintendo 64 game. I know, I think that would be right there, especially for I would try it, but I know Video Game 1999 wouldn't because of the content that they have on there.
And plus the thing is, and if you're, the copies of Conker's Bad Fur Day, the original cartridge anyway, are very hard to come across. But if you are able to find one, even a loose copy, it's very expensive.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think the last time I saw it available at one of the retro stores that I go to, I think it was maybe at least $300 or something. I don't exactly know. But yeah, at that price, I'm like, no.
Honestly, I really have no idea why Nintendo do this thing to have a separate Nintendo 64 application for games that are rated at. I
Well,
really thought I would see that coming right there. But in a way, I can kind of see why they're doing that, because some of those games out there might not necessarily be for everyone.
Exactly. And plus, not everybody that plays Nintendo is kids. Like, I know it's mainly their target audience, but that's not always the main age bracket that plays these games.
Now another thing that they announced, which I thought was quite interesting, but I found out it's not being made by Nintendo or Retro Studios. But the next thing they also announced was Donkey Kong Country Returns HD port or master. And honestly, I'm very excited. I'm kind of happy about it At the same time, I mean, after finding out it's being paid by some other company who's known to not making very good ports or remakes, I'm not all that excited.
I mean, I would have preferred a brand new Donkey Kong game, but apparently, I think the reason they went with a remake of Returns is probably because of the upcoming expansion at Nintendo World that revolves around Donkey Kong Country.
Well, I also think that has something to do with the fact that, just like what Brandon said to me, that, they've been working on Metroid Prime 4 for so long, and that's kind of been like the main focus. So maybe once they finally release that game, maybe they'll finally start working on a new Donkey Kong.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess that's a good point.
The game does release in a stable state, though.
So,
because if they release the game in such a glitchy state, like what's happened to Sonic Colors Ultimate, I don't think a lot of customers would be happy about it. Myself included. That's even if I were to consider buying it. But I mean, it is still nice that that they are doing Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I'm just being skeptical about it.
yeah, so basically what I'm implying here, or what I'm getting here, for what you guys are talking about, is that Retro is likely told by Nintendo to prioritize Metroid Prime 4 first, and then work on Donkey Kong after that.
Which makes sense. Metroid Prime 4 has been in development for so long. And speaking of Metroid Prime 4, that was literally the last thing they announced on the Direct. And sure, I'm not into Metroid, like far from it, in fact, but it is still amazing that we are finally getting actual gameplay footage. That we got actual gameplay footage of it, considering how long the game has been in development for. So honestly, I'm glad that we finally got more information about Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, because if you guys remember, that game was originally announced during the Switch's very first year in 2017, but the original studio that was making it, it was not up to the standards that Nintendo wanted, thus resulting in it being cancelled and then rebooted under Retro Studios.
Yeah, that's quite insane for how long it took them to make Metroid Prime 4 while it was in development. For that to be in development for us years, it was right there. But I think it was well worth the wait for a lot of Metroid fans out there. I'm not into the series myself out there, but I'm not complaining though. It was still a very nice announcement that we got at the end right there. And considering that it's coming out next year, and that it took them a while for them to develop the game, I'm not surprised that if it's going to be both the regular Switch and the Switch 2 later on.
Yeah.
When that does get out.
Well,
Yeah, Steven said the fact that they just released they just dropped a release date of 2025 instead of exactly. That kind of tells you right there that it's going to be a dual release for the Switch and whatever the new console's going to be called.
yeah. And
Yeah, it's basically kind of like what they did with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where that was released on both Wii U and Switch.
yeah, and I can guarantee you one thing: when that game was revealed right at the end, I can guarantee you the Metroid community ate that announcement up for breakfast.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, and like you and I said in my reaction video that we did a few days ago, the 2025 release date for it does open up the potential for it to be a regular Switch title as well as a launch title for whatever the successor system is.
So yeah, whatever. Honestly, pretty solid Direct. Some announcements, it's like, okay, what the heck? But really solid Direct all around. Although I do know quite a bit of reactors, mainly yesterday Cobra and Keeper were like groaning or whatever when they 725 edition, which I'm not really blaming them because I lost interest in the series probably sometime after Just Dance 4 or something on the Connect, and that was it.
Yeah, but Daniel, I have a feeling.
I think I'm pretty sure that I'm the only person out there that really cares about Just Dance. And it's nice that there's a 2025 edition of that coming out later on for the next year. And so far right now, there are a couple songs of that I'm looking forward to playing on there. The ones I'm looking forward to playing on the new 2025 edition of Just Dance for right now, right here that I'm excited about are Unstoppable by Seiya and Classic Poker Face by Lady Gaga.
I mean, I do know one thing, and I did see the video replay, a little bit of anyway for Keeper's reaction, and I know one thing. When the Mario Party announcement came up, both him as well as people that were in his voice chat got very excited.
Yeah, I'm sure he's excited for Mario Party.
Yeah.
If that's right as I am, that's gonna get a huge release for me.
Yeah, same here. And then there was also, and yeah, Dominic does a good point about like announcements that were like, what the heck? Like, particularly on the third party stuff. Although, actually, one of the big third party announcements that was actually pretty big was the Dragon Quest HD 2D remake.
That's what's been the most about the Mario Luigi game for sure, and the Mario Super Mario Party Jamboree, Comic Star Mario Party Superstars Jamboree, so glad I caught myself there.
Yeah.
And then another what the heck thing in the trailer, or not the trailer, but in on the direct was some Hello Kitty game where like it was a rip off of like Animal Crossing or something.
Yeah, like I was like, and I believe my exact words, Nick, when we did that reaction, I believe my exact words were something along the line of, whoever thought it was a good idea to put this in here should be fired.
Yeah, I think it did say that, and I completely agree.
Yeah. Oh, and
I mean, I'm not. Well, part of her, but even if it was into it, well, GG as well. But yeah, seriously, like, Hello Kitty, far from it. But if I wasn't for some reason, even I would have gone, what the heck is this?
yeah. Oh, and then going back to Donkey Kong for a second, I think after that announcement there were some memes that came up resembling that one bit from that Jimmy Neutron animated movie, I think from like 2001 or whatever. Like, this is Donkey Kong Country Returns. This is the third time in a row that Donkey Kong Country has returned. This foul. This one is different. This one is in HD.
Yeah, looks like Jimmy Neutron. It's something I remember memes of all time.
Yeah. Now, granted, like, a lot of the stuff that started coming out in the early 2000s kind of began a trend of, like, not really being that good, but I liked the Jimmy Neutron movie.
Yeah, Jimmy Neutron, it's certainly a fun cartoon.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite cartoons, and yeah, it's more like, it's like, oh, but this is different. Not only is it in HD, all the levels in the 3DS version are here as well.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country Returns to me that one time, but I ended up selling it a while back. But I knew the one on
Switch version is be more so based on the 3DS version in terms of the items and health and stuff, so that is nice at least.
That would make sense.